The chart you see in front of you, the ticker doesn't matter, so don't fucking ask. Okay? We got to start service off with the curse word. That doesn't matter, the ticker. All right? What we're looking at is the pattern. Just a second here. All right. This is the pattern. So what we're looking at and what I try to do is to bring order to chaos. And the stock market's chaos, man. It really is. Much like life. Science of Getting Rich says no one is kept in poverty by shortness in supply of riches. There's more than enough for all. A palace as large as the capital of Washington might be built for every family on earth from the building materials inside the United States alone. And under intensive cultivation, this country would produce enough wool, cotton, linen, silk, and gold, enough to clothe every person in the world, finer than Solomon was arrayed in all his glory, together with enough food to feed them luxuriously. What does that mean? It means there's enough for everybody, right? New forms are constantly being made, older ones are dissolving, but all shapes are assumed by one thing. There is no limit to the supply of formless substance or original substance. The universe is made out of it, but it was not all used in making the universe. Now, some of this stuff in the book gets a little out there, and that confuses people. All that is poetic language. It's just trying to say what can be said a lot simpler. So as you look at this chart, before all these lines were on there, it looked like this. And all of a sudden, it kind of looks a little different, right? It looks a little different. And if we're just looking at this, then we're looking at what? Chaos. Organized chaos, man. But we got to bring organization to this. And, throughout the years, people have studied charts, and that's what this is, right? This is a chart. No shit. This chart is a picture or a window into the movement of this price. It could be into the movement of a commodity. It could be in the movement of Bitcoin. It could be into the movement of anything, right? Anything that you could chart could be gas prices, could be oil. And what this chart is just a visual picture, man. It's just a picture of what human beings are doing, and they're pretty easy to learn. We learned this shit in 4th grade. You look to the right, there's a number, and that number is price, right? That number is price. And we can view this and we can begin to see things that appear. And it takes time, though, to catch on to these. And some of these things are things you just have to accept. You just have to say, fuck it, I'm just going to buy into this. Much like religion, you just have to buy in that he flew in on a carpet. Or you could say, well, maybe that's his poetic language, right? Maybe he didn't walk on water. I don't know, right? I don't know. You either buy in or you don't. And a lot of that's called a philosophy, right? To accept a religion is to accept a philosophy, accept a way of life. Making money is a philosophy. Like being a person that tries to make money with money, wealth generation, building money is a philosophy. It's a way of living. Like, you ever heard of like the hustler's code? Like, what is that? That's a philosophy. When you go into prison, there's a particular set of fucking rules you have to follow, even if you don't want to, right? You may not even believe in those rules. You may think, well, hey, man, these rules are kind of harsh and unjust. Don't matter. These are the rules. And so as you go into prison or go into a religion or join a group or get married or become a father or mother, there are rules involved. Some of those rules are imposed upon you by the government. Some of them are imposed upon you by social norms, right? There are some words you can't say. You get in trouble. They might not buy your shoes if you ever said this word or if you did this or did that. What are these? These are social rules. These are social norms. Well, when you come into the market, guess what? There's rules and there's social norms and there's things that just work, whether you believe in them or not. There's things that just happen, and they were happening before you got here, and they'll be happening after you quit playing. Now, what kills most people is they try to they don't learn the rules, and so they're caught playing a game that they don't quite understand. At some point, they say some fucking word they shouldn't have said, and then they quit. They're out. Same thing, right? You lose your kids, you get kicked out of your church, right? There's rules. Same in the stock market. If you want to be successful, same in the money game, same in real estate. There's rules. If you don't want to play by the rules, good. The bank won't loan you any money. Like, fuck it. Same here, man. So as you come to this world and you begin to look at stocks and stuff, it ain't going to be, it's not about like what ticker's hot now or Dogecoin or any of the dumb shit. What it's about is you creating order out of fucking chaos and being able to do it every day, day after day, not moved by the news, but moved by your own compass, directing your own self in life. And most people come to this game completely fucked up and confused, don't know what they're doing, half-ass put any effort into it at all, and just follow the crowd, man. That's what most people do. They don't know jack shit. They don't know anything. And I know because they ask me about the shit. The fact that you're asking me about Dogecoin means you haven't done any homework and your ass should have already been in it or not been in it. That ever occur to you? In other words, the answer is, should I not buy this, not buy this? The answer is dig into it, man. Learn about it. Read it. If you had a fucking plan, you wouldn't even need to ask that question. If you had a way of this is a trigger for me to buy and this is a trigger for me to sell, and if you knew that you don't need to, you just do it. And when that happens, you execute because there's a plan. There's a set of rules, right? Look at that, man. You could create those rules before the game starts, man. You can create that for yourself. I'm going to go to the gym on Wednesday. And then you go to the gym on Wednesday. Or you don't. You decide. That's life, man. We create our own rules. It ain't no different in the stock market. The problem is if you come into here playing like by 8 different rules and you're on 8 different teams and you got 4 different philosophies and 6 different strategies, all that is a big soup of nothingness. You get what I'm saying? And so the more you this is the one everybody's comfortable with. We got all our little indicators on here, our little crutches. We use this, We need these because it's hard just to see what's actually happening and be in tune with it and be in flow with it. A guy said this morning, Gerald, how do I pick stocks? What stocks you buy? I said, God damn, what phone are you holding in your hand? I mean, does it need to be any more complicated than that? What phone are you holding in your hand? The guy says, well, I got an Apple. All right, well, let's look at that. I mean, can we see any sort of pattern inside of an apple? Shit, what if let's look at Apple. Let's look at Apple without anything on it. Can we make sense out of that? Can we make order out of that? All right. So as we look at just a chart, sometimes it can be hard. And so much like religion, and the book gives them a guideline. It gives them a set of rules in which to base a philosophy after. Every major endeavor in life begins with a philosophy. The philosophy involves a system of beliefs and principles which we live by. Investing is no different. Trading is no different. What you believe about the stock market and which principles you follow will guide everything you do. And so one of the reasons I advocate that you make yourself read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, is it talks about the world is abundant. It's what we just opened with. Everything you see on earth was made from original substance out of which it all proceeds. There is no shortness of supply. So there's always an opportunity in the market, right? And so as I began to study this kind of stuff and began to study the markets and look, I began to see patterns emerge, and I began to study on things like that helped me read these charts, help me read these charts. This is a daily chart. This is the stock of Apple. I just randomly grabbed that shit. It could be anything, bro. It could be anything. Okay? It could be anything. This dude wants me to stop the class to look at a stock for him. Before the internet, I don't say before it, but before we were all using it like this, right? Before we were all using it on a day-to-day basis like it is, this shit wasn't this simple. People were still drawing charts. I was having them delivered to the house, okay? And so these concepts that you see, this is how the charts would come, and sometimes you could order them with a few indicators on there, you know? And as I began to try to make sense of this and look for things, and I began to read on things like support and resistance, and you'd want to look for these levels, and it's more of an art than a science, man. It's what kills really smart people. And as you begin to find areas where, you know, price stopped before, that then became support. And you could see it right here. I mean, it was clear. You just drew a line and you were touching what were called pivot points. These are pivot points, right? Prices were price pivoted. Yeah, Instagram lost fucking all rights to speak on my lives anymore. I'm fucking done with them. Trying to give them the keys and they just want to say dumb shit, like, and just interrupt me and not pay attention, obviously. Like, seriously, go watch someone else. So resistance becomes support. Oh, look what happens over here. Does it again. Look how confirming that was. It's been telling us, right? Well, if we don't know what this is kind of complicated. Like, what do you mean? I can't even see this, man. What are you talking about, Gerald? And so we needed more than just lines. Now, there are people that trade with just lines. They start creating them as they appear. Meaning, I'm looking, when this was going down, I'm drawing little dots on each of these candles in my mind. See, I don't need to see them right there. But as it goes down, why? Because one of these is going to become the floor. And that's going to be the pivot point that starts the box, right? You're seeing the box for either a continued uptrend or it just keeps going down and eventually does what? Let's go back to you. You're going to see it eventually start to move sideways. Now, I jumped ahead. We're taking some things on assumption here. You're like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I know. We're going to get there, man. I'm going to bring it all around. Hold on. Oh, wait. Peter. I got too much shit, man. I wrote too many books. Got too much stuff pushed out. I can't keep up with it all. And you should know it by nauseam now. This pattern here is what we're looking for. And when this emerged for me, this pattern that you've been handed to on a silver fucking platter, all right, that someone came along to you and goes, hey, bro, here you go. It didn't come that easy when I was looking. I opened up some stocks, started trying to do shit. I'm reading weather reports, looking at fucking moon cycles, like all kinds of dumb things, looking in message boards and all kinds of other personally weak ass things, right? No confidence, not really sure what I'm doing, not understanding the big picture. Everybody goes through that, right? That's called being a beginner. The only problem with the stock market is when people decide to be in the beginner, they want to come in like they're a pro. Meaning when you're fat and out of shape and go to the gym, you're not taking your damn shirt off, flexing in the window when you're completely out of shape. You're kind of sneaking into the gym, doing your workout, sneaking out. In the stock market, that's not how it works. People want to roll up in there and hit it big on an options play. They don't realize they're fucking delusional. That nobody, like, yeah, you might get lucky on that, but that guy you're watching who's doing that, how long you think he's been doing that? You're just going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah, well, I looked at the picture, man. It looked pretty nice. I'd like some biceps like that. Yeah, I think I'll just go all in on Dogecoin. Fuck it. I'll follow Reddit. When they jump in, I'll jump in. Like, that's the big game plan. You can tell your grandkids, yeah, I read a blog. They're going to say, how'd you get rich? I read a blog. Yeah. I just went to a blog. That was it. Shit, I bought Dogecoin because I I knew it was a smart thing. It made total sense, completely understood the business plan and everything. I was smart. I read that thing and I was smart. I knew exactly how it worked. I knew who originated it. I knew all that stuff, man. I put in some work, man. That's not what happened, man. You know that, right? You think that's what's happened? No. But there's nothing wrong with cashing in on mayhem, right? Let's cash in on some mayhem. So when I began to look at stocks and stuff, what I realized, stocks just move, man. Just fucking random. They move up, they move down, they move up, they move down. And I used to think, well, maybe it's based on price. Or not price, but news. Maybe when the news comes out and Apple has really good earnings, it'll go really high. So I'll sit right there and I'll wait and I'll listen. And as soon as it comes out on Twitter, or as soon as they say something really nice, I'll just buy the stock. And then you say, are you going to do that every time? So you're going to buy every time there's good news, and you're going to sell every time there's bad news? And then you're going to, connect that to 20 stocks, and then what? You're going to walk around with your Twitter thing on? Is that really a strategy? Do you really think that works? No. So what I learned is news is just complete bullshit. It's completely bullshit. It serves no use to you, because the moment it's any good, it's already popped, dude. Algorithmic computers already did it. So you're just chasing them, right? So I couldn't do much with news unless I could interpret the news in some way that anticipate the news and have positioned myself to already profit from the news, maybe. That perspective, but waiting for the news to happen adds no value to you, because you don't know whether to go up or down. Because sometimes good news and the stock goes down. Sometimes they beat earnings and the price sells off. And that confuses new people, because they thought there was fucking rhyme to it. They thought that prices moved up based on logic. Shit's good, goes up. Shit's bad, goes down. Simple, right? Except that's not how it works at all. At all. The stock market can go to inflated heights and the economy be terrible. The economy can be terrible, or the economy can be great and the stock market crash. Why? Stock market's not about right now. Stock market's about the future. So if you had great sales now, but possibly there's headwinds in the future, fuck you and your good sales. It goes down. And that's how the market moves. It goes way too low and it goes way too high. But I began to realize as I stepped back and as I read books and looked at different people, Rich Donchin. You ever heard of the Donchin channels? Well, that dude, he was an early trend follower. And he wrote on that the markets tended to drift higher. And if we could catch bottoms after big sell-offs as a general rule, right, we could ride that natural tendency for stocks to drift higher. So if we're looking at Apple, this is a daily chart. Let's back up to a weekly chart. What do you see? It kind of just naturally drifts higher. People say, how could you ever pick this stock? It's completely secret. How could you know to buy Apple? No one's ever heard of it. Right? We've all heard of this stock. All the stocks you need or want are right there. Formula Substance is giving you everything you need to get fucking rich. It's called assets. These stocks have been all around you. Shit you've been on. If every time you logged on Netflix, if you clicked over and bought $20 worth of Netflix, you'd probably be rich as fuck right now. If every time you got on Amazon and spent money you didn't need to spend, you put $5 in Amazon shares through Cash App, man, you probably have a lot more money now. Like, if you even order on there, you got to pay yourself. People act like stock picking's hard, man. You're using it every day. Damn. Open up your eyes, dude. The money flow is everywhere. It is all around you. You drive past those storage facilities. You ever see those bright orange public whatever the fuck they call them, those storage facilities? Yeah, that thing pays a nice dividend. Yeah, but how would I know that? I don't know. Look at the chart. And so the chart opens up the world. What the hell? There it is. Public storage, baby. I was feeling bad not knowing the name. Look at this. Look at this thing. You drive by this shit every day. Every day you drive by one of the, everyone on here drives by one of these every single day. And you trying to pick some unknown stock nobody's heard of. And this thing is right in front of you every day. So when you go out today and you're driving around, look and see, you're going to run into one of these. But your mind was all clouded thinking about the Kardashians or whatever the fuck's on TV. And you're driving by and all this money's just ticking, tick, 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 tick. All right? And you're like, well, how can I have known? How can I possibly know, Gerald? How can I possibly know? So, and that's just one stock. I just randomly pulled that one out of the ether. How many of the others that we just drive by, use, drink, eat, like just absorb, just be consumers, but it could have made you rich, man. Options calls on this shit down here. Jesus, man. Could have bought a new car. But our brains are limited. Our brains are small and they're filled with just bullshit all day long. It doesn't serve you, doesn't make you any money. We can't see the market. And yet in the midst of all of that, somehow we're going to time the market on some, but I bought Dogecoin. I didn't buy public storage that's gone straight up, but I bought Dogecoin. Like, I mean, where the hell are our brains, man? What is going on with planet Earth? This is fucking Home Depot, and I got people asking me about Dogecoin. You ever been to Home Depot? This is a secret stock, too, that not many people know about. This one's secret. This one's deep in the secret file. Illuminati knowledge here. So I talk about a thing called the bread and butter. And it's this 200-day moving average. When price falls below it, and it's a blue cap dividend stock. Now, I'm writing intensively about this in my new book. But, how could you have possibly known? I mean, you know how? You follow the Dow. You follow the stocks in the Dow. How do you know that the Patriots are the best team, or that the Broncos suck ass, or that Miami? See, you have the intellect. I know guys that can tell me all kinds of useless ass stats about sports, and they don't know about Home Depot or the PE market cap, like shit that could actually make them rich. They could use that brain power. They could flip it from nonsense to shit that could actually serve you in life. If you begin to think of the money flow as a philosophy and a way of life, and you begin to see all those houses you drove by as fucking rent checks, you get what I'm saying? This shit is everywhere, all around you. And people are worried about fucking Dogecoin. This was happening right in front of you. You know what I'm saying, man? This don't piss you off that you didn't own this? Home Depot? This is a big surprise. So, I mean, these are countless, dude. We can just go down the list. I'm just making up shit. I'm just pulling names out of the ether. So, like the one, I was just trying to, really right now, I was just thinking, I just need ones. I don't play Home Depot too much because I own a bunch of real estate, but this going below, this game is so simple. What was another one we just did? Look at Merck. That thing hits that yellow line. I'm real interested now. Why? Because this is so easy. And what I'm looking for is the 4 stages of price movement. What I'm trying to do is to take this pattern on a daily chart. Now, you could do it on a weekly. I learned it from a guy named Stan Weinstein. Prior to Stan, people were teaching 3 stages of price movement: sideways, up, and down, meaning all prices did one of 3 things. They either went up, they went down, or they went sideways. And that is true. That is the 3 things, right? It can either go sideways, go up, or go down. That is the only 3 things stocks can do. They're going to do one of the 3. What they tend to do is to do them until they don't. And I talk about this in a book. Newton's law of motion. What's in motion will stay in motion until it's hit with an equal, opposite force of equal whatever. I don't know the science to it, right? But you know what I'm saying. So as wind blows, it's hit with energy, an opposite force, and that it's that force is bigger than the wind and it begins to deteriorate, right? Right? You get what I'm saying? Like there are scientific principles. Back to that idea that when you join a church, there's rules. When you join a gang, there are rules. When you go to prison, there are rules. When you get married, there are rules. Anything in life, you become a parent, anything worth doing, there are rules and there are philosophy to it. Same in the stock market. And it don't matter if you agree with them. Nobody cares. That you're not invited to ask to change the rules. You're just invited to follow them. That's it. And so I began to say, wow, could I create some rules out of all of this? But you can't just do one thing because one thing just doesn't work. And I began to combine in what I called the money flow, was put together these different indicators, moving averages, and chart patterns into something that I could repeat over and over and over, because that seemed to be the key to success, was repetition. It wasn't what ticker or what stock. It was knowing how to buy the ticker or the stock, right? So I could give you a good stock, but I'm not helping you any. Fuck, let me just hand you $100. But how does that help you? So the homeless guy that you give $1 to is still homeless. He ain't no better off. He's got $1, right? A lot of people are homeless. You come into the market, you want to trade. Truth is, you're fucking homeless. You don't have a strategy. You don't have rules. You're homeless. And you're looking for somebody to give you $1. And then you get to stay homeless, right? You never become the owner. You know, you get the analogy? So it's time to stop being a homeless trader looking for $1 and learn to trade. Like begin to create your rules. Write them down. My philosophy. And I'm not talking about science rules where if it's one tick over, then like it's some sort of fucking science experiment, because I get people that do that. Gerald, it was a nickel over. Shut up. That's not what it is, man. It's general ideas, general zones, general principles. Meaning they can't define porn, but we all know what it is when we see it, right? Meaning it can't be defined like that. But it is a process. Like, how do you define prosperity? I don't know. How do you define prosperity? I don't know. Depends on your fucking point of view. Some people think I'm rich. I think I'm fucking broke. Right? I'm worth like $3 million and I feel broke every day. I don't know how most of you make it, man. I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm fucking broke all the time. You say, how's that possible? Shit, I'm investing all the time and it takes a lot of money. It's like a black hole. You get 15, 16 houses, guess what? Every day something's broken. Every day somebody wants 500, 1,000, right? You get it? Why? Heavy's the head, man. You think the king sits around feeling prosperous? Well, look at me, I'm fucking rich. No, he's got fucking responsibilities. So whenever you come across someone bragging in the sense of how fucking little they do because of how rich they are, that's self-service, bro. That's self-service. It could come back on you. Kings lived to serve, man. At the service of his people. The Mayans used to kill their king when shit went bad. Why? King's responsible. It's his responsibility. If it didn't rain and the crops died, they killed him. Should have made it rain. King's the fucking rainmaker. Right? Man. In other words, you got time to relax. You could have got a little more. But you're too greedy. You just worried about yourself. I got enough for me. I'm good. That's what I see a lot. That means they're not pushing their limits. So you got 1 mil shit. Maybe you could have 10. Now, I'm not talking about pushing yourself to death. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about for the reason you do it. If the reason you do it is, we're getting off track, man. I'm trying to teach you how to trade stocks. Part of the thing to trade stocks, though, is you got to have a reason why you're doing it, because you're going to lose as you try to figure out these patterns. And sometimes people say, well, can you just show me the buy? Bro, that ain't going to help you. I could show your children how to trade, but your children ain't going to be able to maintain the mindset to do it because they can't think rich or wealthy or patient or disciplined. They can't do that. They're children. They're homeless. You see how wide that spread is? That's super important. Log that in your mind. This right here is the 20-day simple moving average. 20, not complicated, 20. 20 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Divide by 20. That's it. That's what this is. Right here. Where that is, right there, is what I just described to you. It takes all these days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20, wrap them up, and that is the average right there. That is the average. So if we look at price, Luke, you better shut the fuck up about Zillow and listen. The price, 137. What does that tell you? If the average price of the last 20 days is 135 and today's price is 137, what does that tell you? Is price higher or lower than the average price of the last month of trading? Higher. You got yourself a bull market. If price is on the other side of this green line, meaning the price is higher than the average price of the last 20 days, part of our religion is it's bullish. One of the rules that I accept as just is, I don't argue with it. If price is above this green line, it's bullish. Now, this has all those pretty little colors, but let me show you how this helps you. Did I fuck this one up? Oh, no. Let's do it without all the lines. Procter & Gamble. If you're looking at it here, you're looking at it here, right? Where's the green line? See, I don't see it, Gerald. I know. Could we find... I'm adding something. I'm assuming some of you know I talk about the box all the time. You remember I was talking about I was looking, every one of these, I'm looking for one of them to be the bottom. Now, I'm going to say these are basically the same. This is one of those zones where a guy was saying, but Charles, they broke it. I'm like, yeah, come on, bro. This is not science. That is not really a break. We're looking at the close. It's basically the same zone. The next day we moved up. Look, here, I can now count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got me a box, right? Yeah, I want to save it. Now, is that a buyable box? Well, I got some other things that I'm looking at, right? So if we're over here looking, I began to realize that as price moves through these 4 stages on a daily, remember my mentor, Stan Weinstein, he did it on a weekly. Here's what I figured out. No, man. Yeah, it works on a weekly, but it really works on a daily. It's just not as clean. It doesn't go as long, but you could begin to see the form of the pattern move. Even in here, 1, down, over, down, right? Over, breakout, over. Now, that is the pattern, right, that we're seeing. It can move sideways, up, sideways, down, sideways. What throws people off is sometimes right here in this stage 3, instead of going down, if you begin to try to predict in a sense that you're like, fuck it, I'm out, or, oh, I know it's going down. No, you don't. The pattern can run sideways up, sideways, and the 3, remember when I said the early people were teaching that the market, now look how pretty that pattern is. But early people were teaching the market can do 3 things, sideways, up, sideways, or down. That's it. They didn't insert anything in the middle. They said it was sideways, up, or down, which is true. That is basically sideways. And you say, how can you tell? Look, you can draw a box, okay? That's basically sideways movement. Right here is what? Basically sideways movement. It's not going anywhere. It's just bouncing through this little zone right here, right? And that's sideways, that's sideways. But what they were missing and what Stan kind of brought along was it would go into these downtrends. And then over here, it would go into these uptrends. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to go in a perfect order, but sometimes they will. But we could tell based on where the RSI was, which he didn't use this. This is where Gerald began to add other things. And so I looked at Stan's thing. Stan's doing it on a weekly, and I'm like, no, bro, this is on a daily. And I'm not the only guy doing this. There were people writing about prices or fractal. I open up the money flow. If you have my book, The Money Flow with the Fractal Concept, fractals never-ending pattern. Fractals are complex patterns of self-sum across different scales. meaning this will play out on Coinbase. I know all you guys want to buy Coinbase, don't you? Oh, Coinbase. That's the IPO of the year. We must buy it. I must own Coinbase. Everyone else does, Gerald. Everyone owns Coinbase. Who cares if all IPOs go down? Who cares if like 99% of them go fucking lower within 6 months of their going on sale? Who cares about history and intelligence? I just want to own Coinbase. So that's the Dogecoin, okay? I'm going to start labeling that. That's called the Dogecoin effect. You fucking homeless traders, okay? I wish you had a home, man. See, a homeless trader gets pulled around, man. He sees an article, he sees this, he sees that. He doesn't have a kingdom to run. He's not wearing a crown. He doesn't have a set of principles or fucking rules he lives by. He's easily moved. He's like a ship without a sail. It just floats around being fucked with or pushed around by any stupid post or comment or shit they say. Or oh, wait, that guy's smart. That guy's really smart. He bought it. I'm going to buy it, right? Yeah, that's what kings do. They sit around their fucking throne and go, what do you think Trump's doing? I'm going to do what he's doing. You think that's what they're doing? No, man. You think Kathy Woods is waiting? Oh, boy, we should have got in on that. You think that's how they're doing it? No, they're trading different. She can buy it. She's got bigger pockets than you. What do you see on Coinbase on a 1-minute chart? That looks familiar. I know a guy that taught me this. Little guy spends his day working on bathrooms and remodeling houses. Look, oh my God. Oh, shit, sorry. Went to grab my coffee. Oh my God. It's almost like I'm in the Illuminati. How could this pattern work on a 1-minute chart? It does look just like it, doesn't it? Oh my God. So let's get off Coinbase. But let's see. Let's take it down to a 5-minute chart. It's complex and fractal. Oh my God. Can we see the pattern on a... Oh, wait. This is a 5-minute chart, okay? It's a 5-minute chart. Does that look familiar? It's 5-minute chart. Shut the fuck up about FUBU. Listen, man, what I'm trying to, if you're typing right now, I don't know how you could even be comprehending the golden key to the universe of stock trading that I'm handing to you. Okay? I spent about 70 grand to figure this out, and I'm handing it to you, and you're too busy typing. All right. Do you get what I'm saying, man? God damn, man. I'm about to ban YouTube, too. I'm about to turn off YouTube. Next dumb comment. You see the pattern that emerged? So let's go to a 15-minute chart. Can we see it? Yeah, it gets tighter, but you're seeing them. You're probably not seeing them. I see them clear as day. That one's short. Moves up, over, coming in. It's building. It's building. See what I'm saying? So now let's go to a 1 hour. So now on this 1 hour, you see how we can do this? Now what if on this 1 hour, let's put Coinbase in with the indicators. We haven't covered them, but they're indicators. I wish you guys were my friends and I could teach you this all the time. It takes me I can go for 2 days and we still wouldn't cover the money flow. A lot of you guys think you know it. You don't know shit. Let's see. You seriously don't know shit. You think you know the money flow. Man, I barely get a chance to even open up the slightest pieces of it because people's brains can't fucking comprehend it. Let's see. Do we see the green line? Yeah, where's price? It's above it. So we're starting to see what? What are you starting to see? You're starting to see the trend of it emerge. Sideways, down, sideways. There's your stage 2 breakout. Just take for granted that's a stage 2 breakout. Don't argue with me. So you get what I'm saying? So if you just insist on doing a IPO, If you just insist, you're like, dude, I just like getting my face kicked in sometimes. I just like that shit. I like losing. Good. So drop down to a 1 hour chart and wait, right? This is how we did Airbnb. It's a 1 hour chart. Damn. Can you see the pattern? Now, the tighter we get these prices like this, right? Now what's happening? It's breaking out. The tighter, this Airbnb on a 1 hour chart. Now, I don't trade 1 hour charts. It's for suckers, dude, in my opinion. Because while you're sitting around trying to look at a 1 hour chart, I'm out buying real estate, man. Like this, I can't sit here at a computer all day, man. Like I got shit to do. Like you got to do other things. I mean, I'm not saying day trading doesn't work, but it's a hard way to make a living. And so what I found is there's better ways to make a living that are guaranteed. And then I can put the money into a bigger picture trading strategy that allows me to make a lot more money. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm not saying you can't day trade. I'm just saying there's better ways to do it. And then as we come to a daily chart, right, we could see where it broke out over here. But my point is on that anything, whether it be Dogecoin or whether it be, let's put this back on you, whether it be anything, this pattern begins to merge. And so for me, as I caught on to Stan Weinstein, look, you're going to see where it says 5-day exponential moving average, 10-day exponential moving average, 20-day simple. Sometimes a guy is saying, why exponential? Bro, I'm not, go read the damn book. You'll see why. Don't make me explain it like that. I got better things to do. If you go learn about an exponential, you'll see why. It'll be self-explanatory. Why stop at a red light? I don't know. I don't like to get hit by other cars. What do you mean? Means it's rules we've all agreed to as society. Red light, stop. Even the dumbest people know that, right? So if you drive right through it, you might get smashed. And it would be your fault for breaking the damn rules. And so I began to develop rules because it seemed like everything in the universe that functions and works has rules. It's never played by the seat of your pants. Last time you bought a car on the seat of your pants, you're just randomly looking at cars and I think I'll buy it. And you just sign the papers. That worked out well. In other words, things that we just do half-ass, off the cock, right, without a strategy, without a system, without a way of determining, begins to, it typically can end bad. And so I began to create order. I needed to put a 20-day moving average on this chart, right? And what did that allow me? Well, that gave me a little insight. So if we come over here, add overlay, let's go to a simple moving average, right? Simple moving average. Let's make that a 20. Right? And then I'm going to make it green. I'm going to click update. Now, all of a sudden, what does this do? This helps me interpret the pattern of where the net, right? You see, best time to sell, best time to buy. Doesn't mean sell or buy. It's just saying those are the best times. Okay? And that allowed me, when I looked at the pattern, to determine, is this on this side of the green line or is it on this side of the green line? Because when it's on this side of the green line, it's going down. When it's on this side of the green line, it's going up. That's pretty simple, right? Well, Gerald, how can you pick stocks? How could you know? Let's go to PSA. Look at that. When it breaks above the green line, it's moving up, right? Let's look at Home Depot. How could you know? Look. Now, there's going to be times where and we're going to add, but you got to notice over here, look, I'm sure you notice if you're an intelligent person, you go, well, look, dude, it didn't do it over here. I know. We got rules for that too. Meaning we can't just go off the green line. You could just be as simple as when price, shit, I challenge you to do that. I bet most of you couldn't even do that. I know, because it's hard. I tried to do it. And it was simply this. Whenever this breaks above the green line, I buy. I go back 2 bars and put a stop. Whenever the RSI we even got the RSI extreme, I sell it. That's it. That's my strategy. I bet you $100 you couldn't do that. And if you did, you'd make money. You catch every breakout. Every breakout on planet Earth, even Dogecoin, started with breaking above the 20-day moving average. I bet it did. Let's see. What is Dogecoin's ticker symbol? Look at there. There's Dogecoin. You say, well, Gerald, can it go above the 20? Should I buy Dogecoin? Yeah, looks like a fucking breakout, dude, about 2 weeks ago. Wait, are you saying the money flow told me to buy it? Yes. Yes. Even Dogecoin. Look. Even Dogecoin. Look. Wait, you're saying if I just bought when price broke out above the 20 and moved higher and just held it and placed the stop, that would work? Yes. That's what I'm telling you. What if we put this on a 1 hour? Oh, God, Gerald, it looks a lot clearer. I know. So I wrote a book to share this with everyone. You should buy my book, by the way. Look, Gerald. So it told me? Yeah. Now, how would we know when to sell? This is the question I get all the time. How do you know when to sell? Well, what I began to do is I know that price only moves so far. So if we're observing our pattern here of price going sideways, breaking out, going sideways, breaking out, going sideways, then this one broke down, but then look, puts in support. Damn, son. Are you telling me it works on Dogecoin? Ah! Yeah, bro. It works on everything. It just don't work for you because you ain't doing it. But let's suppose, oh my God, guys. Man, there ain't nobody. Sometimes I wish I wasn't burdened with teaching this because it's a burden on my soul, I'm going to be honest. Because one day I'm going to die. And if I die knowing this and I haven't shared it all, and there's not some dude that continues this when I'm some kid that's 20 that picks up the 4th version or the 5th, because I'm writing the money flow too right now. Some kid's going to buy it and get it like I did the book, The Science of Getting Rich. That book made me rich. Now, it may not be rich to you, but I mean, shit, I was born in a trailer park. I ain't had a job in 17 years. I just make my money with my mind, sitting at home, working on this is what I do. And I got all that from that book, The Science of Getting Rich. Because it put me on a path and it opened my mind to looking around and just seeing things, man. Just seeing arbitrations and seeing opportunities and markets and prices and seeing it as abundance. But I realized there were rules, there were things, and they were called the buckets, the money flow. You had to get your buckets right, meaning if you're all fucked up at home and you got a bunch of debt and you're doing a bunch of, I can't make you a good trader. It won't matter. You ain't got the money to trade. The first time it moves against you, you need to pull your money out. You know how many traders I come through and they do that? And they're like, oh, I got to pull my money out because you didn't do it fucking right. And now you're raising the white flag and you're surrendering, king. So just fucking lay it down and move on. Just fucking move on. Fuck it, wasting my God. See, so I get mad at people like that, wasting our time. Fucking, this game plays out every day, whether you're here or not. This is called support. We talked about this. If you get 3 points of support on this, this is super powerful. Okay? If you have ears to hear, this is super powerful. The 3rd point, now I don't even talk about this in the book. I got 1,000 of these that I don't talk about in the book because I don't quite know how to explain it. The 3rd point, okay? The 3rd pivot point that supports this support makes this super uber important, okay? Makes it uber important. I mean, you can bet that this is going to hold most likely, okay? Now, what do we do with that? Well, if we can go determine a value, and if it held a 4th time, man, I don't know what else to say, but buy the damn thing. But this is Dogecoin we're looking at. So what I'm trying to tell you is the money flow works on everything on planet Earth. So you say, Gerald, that can't be possible. My wife says this is not good, then this is a scam. Notice where Bitcoin stopped, right where it stopped before in the sell-off last night. But my wife says that we can't do that because this is risky. Let's see. Look at these support levels. My wife says Bitcoin is dangerous. Let's see. Wow. Look how close that is, man. Resistance becomes support. Crazy, huh? So that's one of the concepts, support and resistance, right? Now, what do I mean by this shit of support and resistance? When support is broken, again, these are rules we just accept in our faith without really overthinking it. Like, we don't really overthink that Jesus turned water into wine, right? We don't sit around and debate, scientifically, he couldn't have done that. We don't do that. Christians don't do that. They just go with it. They don't spend a lot of thought on that, right? They just, okay. Yeah, Muhammad, he wrote a magic thing, whatever. Like, you just go with it, man. Buddha, he meditated for like 1,000 days without eating. Never died. You just have to go with that, man, or you don't, right? Like, I don't know what to say. You either go with it. You don't argue with your friends about the science of it's like, hey, fuck you. This is not science, bro. This is what we believe. And so these points, same thing, man. If it goes and it breaks it right here, shit, I assume from then on the next sell-off, some point, this is going to be support, man. I can go ahead and blow it out there, right? And as this thing moves higher and does that, look, right there, it did it. Boom, check. Now we go higher, right? Guess what? Shit, I'm going to throw this one out, right? And as we keep stepping up, look, I'm going to throw this one out. And I assume when it comes down, that's where it's going to stop, unless it doesn't. If, let's say this, and this is, we just went about 8 steps ahead in the money flow, okay? So as price broke this green line and breaks support, you say, where do you think it's going? Shit, it's going to the next one. And I think it's going to stop there. So I don't need to worry about buying until it gets there. Huh? You see what we just did? You just created rules. Now you don't even need to do anything till it gets there. And when it gets there, what? We're going to make some rules. What? It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it's got to go sideways like it did over here. It stopped. And then what did it do? It built a box. It always does. Now, when I say always, is like 94%. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. And so we could pick any stock, man. Fuck Bitcoin. Let's look at Pepsi. Oh, look. Do you see the pattern? Man, the fact that I haven't been given a Nobel Peace Prize is, the fucking world is out of whack, dude. All right? Seriously. There are people that I've taught to fish for the rest of their lives. And I'm not just talking trading, flipping stocks for quick money. Yeah, we can do that. We went all the way down to a 1-minute chart on Coinbase. And if you want to take what I teach you and run with it, just don't come back and go, hey, I bought this on a 2-minute. What do you think I should do? Because I don't do that. So if you're going to take the money flow and change it a little to yourself, cool. That's cool. But then you got to set the rules and the parameters. And so as you run into trouble, build out that religion. Put those rules together. Make that decision. You're like, cool. I'm cool with losing money. So I'm going to have tight stops. If you notice, I don't use tight stops. I used to when I was younger. And if you're 25, 30, don't have a lot of... I was harsh on a guy on my live the other day about stop losses. And I probably went too far. I was thinking about that when I got off. I'm like, man, I probably hurt that poor boy's feelings. Aw. And I was thinking about when I was in the Army and I was 19 and drill sergeant. Shit, I don't even think he should have yelled at me that time. But he did. I still liked him. I knew what he was trying to do. He's trying to get me ready for war. And then I went to Iraq. And that mean-ass drill sergeant didn't seem so mean. He didn't seem so tough when I was sitting in 125 fucking degree weather with people wanting to shoot me. It didn't seem so bad back at basic training. You get what I'm saying? What was he doing? He's preparing me. In other words, you're going to come into these markets and it ain't going to be as easy. And you're going to get confused and you're going to be like, it's almost like you're being yelled at, right? So I'm challenging that young man's view of the market. Now, maybe he sticks to his view. Cool. If that's the rules that he said he should. Damn, he's going to be a king or he's going to be led around, you know? So as you set your own rules, you need to defend those rules. Now, if you see a better way or something that makes sense, you do it. Like, you're not so stuck on it. But like, sometimes I'll have people challenge me on, but they'll send me an alternative. Like, Gerald, if you took out the MACD and put in blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, whatever. Like, this works. Like what you just showed me may get me in a nickel earlier or a nickel later. I don't know. Or they've been in the strategy for 30 days, which means they haven't done it at all. It's like going to the gym and you're like two times in with your trainer and you're like, bro, I was thinking, if you changed up the order and you're telling a guy who's been exercising for 20 years and studying, he's got a degree, and you're like, you're giving him advice on how to make it better. People do this, man. They're like, maybe if we sold at an RSI of 68, we'd do better. I'm like, bro, no. So the RSI began to help me. I know some of you are what you got to go. Let's see. We're going to put it on above. RSI goes above. All right. If you're being yelled at, you need to go. I get it. I always wonder. I'm going to share a little bit of my life with you right now. I've been in trouble my entire life. And when I mean in trouble, I mean, like spousal trouble, like, family trouble, like not like real trouble, but like your mom's mad at you kind of shit. Since I started trading. I mean this, like divorce kind of shit. Because I loved it. You know what I mean? You see me working on these houses, and I always get a guy, and I know he means well, and a lot of these people are just concerned about me, and I get it, and I appreciate that. And they're like one, and you may be on the live, so don't think I use any internet. If you send me anything or say anything to me, I'm gonna use it in my content if it helps. And sometimes that makes people mad, but I'm not gonna mention your name. I'm just gonna use our interaction. I have to. I'm a documenter. I'm not a content creator. I don't create content. I document. I just do what I'm doing, and I try to give lessons. I'm not creating a YouTube show and editing and all of that, right? That's not what I do. I just document and content of me trying to play the money game. It's just me trying to get to $10 million. That's what I'm trying to do. It's just a regular guy making money with money, trying to save money, trying to live by a set of rules and trying to multiply that money, right? And sharing what I've learned. And I began to see price go through these 4 stages. And where I try to get people to go, this is Pepsi, recent trade we did. And so when it went on the other side of the green line right here and broke this support, even though that's close in there, we know we're in a downtrend, right? And so what I'm looking for, what did we talk about? Where do I think it'll go next? And remember I talked about these little levels is where I thought. But now I want to add a little caveat, and this is where it gets confusing sometimes. And maybe me and you see different levels, and it's because I'm not the best teacher in the world. I'm not a trained teacher, right? This is the real level that what I'm looking for, these levels here we talked about. So when price goes down, man, you got to get this, bro. If you get this, you'll love me forever. Look where it stopped. Look where it stopped. And then look where it stopped. Now, here's what you got to understand. They were both right. Meaning, just because it broke this one and went down, that's not bad. People will see that as bad. They'll be like, oh, your trade didn't work. No, bro. No. It's okay. It's going to the next one. See, if our stock selection was correct, maybe there's some things we trade different. Meaning we want to accumulate it. We want to make this one go bigger. Because we believe, for some reason, this is a chart of Pepsi, right? Let's build this out as I'm looking at this trade. When maybe I'm first looking here. So let's add that 200-day that I talked about. I don't talk about it enough because it's so much stuff, dude. I don't want to overload you. I don't want people not to trade because it seems like so much. Nobody studies this more than me, man. You might. I've created some animals. I shouldn't say that. I was going to say I've created some beasts, man. I was going to say nobody looks at this stuff more than me, but that's not true. I do have friends that do more than me. I got some friends that are so obsessed with this stuff that I'm like, yo, man, you need to calm down. Like, have you watched? Like, go take a break, bro. And I thought I was obsessed. There's a phenomena. So that was a level. It tried to break. It didn't break. It came down. This is a false breakout, right? I want you to see something here. And this is a nuance, okay? And you're going to have to handle how you handle this. I can tell you how I handle this. This is Pepsi, okay? So we're not talking about a penny stock here. This is zeros off the table, right? We can all agree with that. This is what makes these so easy to trade. This is why I like these, but you need a little bit of money. But you could do it with small money in practice, okay? I shouldn't teach. Sometimes I tell people not to do it, and I think I've done them a disservice. I just know they're going to be disappointed because they're going to make $50 and not $5,000. But this stopped at a point. But what I want you to see, this RSI, how this became to help me inside of the 4 stages of price movement. And this is super important. Super important. What makes a stage 3 and a stage 1 solid? Bankable, whatever you want to call it, gets me excited when I see it, is when it's on the extreme. Now, it doesn't have to be. It can turn into a stage 2. This is a stage 2. I'm showing you a failed trade. This would be a failed money flow trade. There's our bottom. Remember, we're keeping track of our pivot point every day. So every day I'm looking as it goes down, right? And I'm looking for... You can't jump on this one. This is way too soon. And you'd say, why? Look, this is not extreme. So when I'm looking at the RSI and it is not extreme, that tells me it can go lower. And as long as it stays on the other side of this green line and this RSI is not extreme, I don't anticipate this going up. Because if you look at the perfect setups, that RSI is extreme, price went sideways, it breaks out, and then it has a big move. That is exactly what I'm looking for all of the time. And then I want to go from one extreme to the next. And that, my friends, is a completed swing trade. It's done. Now, when I say it like that, people think they can take it off. And if you're trading short term, you could take it off. Boom, take your money, move on, man. And go look for the next setup like this and have 5, 6, 9, 10, 15, 20 of them going, bro. Okay? Now, I'm going to cover, this can be a great trade, and it's called a runaway. If you've ever taken my boot camp, which I don't know why you wouldn't buy the boot camp, help a brother out. If you bought the boot camp, I have an entire video to talk about runaways. Pepsi typically is not a runaway. So now, so far, all we've added is the 20, the 200, and the RSI. You remember my little strategy I told you? Bro, listen. If you wrote this down on a note card and you said, this is all I'm ever going to do, I'm going to look for quality companies. Quality. I'm not even going to say dividend payers, but if you did dividend payers, it'd be even better. Quality companies. When they fall under that yellow line, I get excited and I wait. And what do I wait for? Is that breakout above that green line, and then I buy the fuck out of it. And where do I set my stop if I'm going to? Over here, but I wouldn't even set a stop. Fuck it. I just ride it. Now, I can show you how to improve this. Once we learn the 4 stages of price movement. Once we know how to identify a stage 1 with the box, the pivot point, and the 4 candles going sideways, creating a box on an extreme low RSI, which stands for what? Relative Strength Index, which measures what? It just measures price movement of the last 4 days. So what is beautiful is it doesn't go one way or the other. And it just flows, man. It just bounces. Now notice, it stopped over here at the previous low, and look where it's stopping now as it comes up into here. If you know that's my target, previous high. Why? On the way down, what was my target? Previous low, right? So I fully anticipate this is where it's going. Fully anticipate. Yes, that is the religion. That is where it's going. He walked on water. I just believe it. Like that is where it's going. I have no doubt. But because I'm infallible and because sometimes the shit don't work right, I need another way too. And that's called the RSI. And that's what it tells me. Price went too low. Price has probably gone too high. And when it's too high, it doesn't mean it's done. But what it does mean is I need to maybe ring that register. And so we sold some right here, right? Now, I didn't take this trade over here. I like to wait as far as trading them over here. Buy and hold, I would have bought. If you want to buy your breakouts, buy your breakouts. It's Pepsi. It don't matter. Even if you bought it and held it, shit, you got to buy more here. You bought on this breakout. You made a ton of money. So, and I'm kind of working. I'm going to, what my new book, I'm going to explain to you how I break down how I do these no stop trades with these big dividend stocks to make the most money. Like, and that's what we're going to talk about in there. But, and you could use options on anything I'm saying here. You can load it with options. If you're doing options, can I say something? I'm gonna stop yelling at people about options. Okay, I've decided that. Fuck it, do options. I don't care. Here's what I'm gonna say to them. This is what I'm gonna start teaching them. When you buy your option, go buy 2 shares or 5 shares. Damn, buy 10 shares. Why? So that I could make you a stock trader. Being an options trader is different. But I want to show you shares. See, if you master shares, you can trade the hell out of options. If you never master shares, you're always going to be a poor options trader. I believe that wholeheartedly. You can't argue that with me. If you try to convince me any different, you're stupid. I know. I've been doing it 21 years. That is a fact. Like, if you learn to trade shares, if you had the discipline and the wherewithal and the fortitude to say, I'm not trying to make money, I'm trying to learn. And you come in and you're willing to learn the 4 stages of price movement, of sideways, down, sideways, and you time this shit perfect. Like, bam. I mean, you're right there. And you ain't in Dogecoin unless you were already looking at Dogecoin. Then you're in it, right? Which the money flow would have got you in it. And then it breaks that 20 and you go buy your 3 shares and you set your target at the previous high. And then you take off 1 share, and then you take off the second share up here, and then the rules are we let the rest run as long as it's above this green line. If you were to do that on 5 or 6 stocks, 10 stocks, because you got enough money, and give me 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and you got to buy 3. You got to buy 3 shares, or a minimum 2, but you got to buy 3, and you say why? Because the money flow takes profits twice, and it lets 1 ride. As a general rule, think in terms of 3. I give this, let me explain. I'd show it right here, but these are the little nuances that people miss. These are $300. Look, these are stocks I'm trading all the time. People are like, well, how do you make your stocks? Well, fuck, dude, I wrote them down for you. Do I need to come to your damn house and read them to you? They're literally in my newsletter. These are the stocks that I'm watching. So, look, I've spent hours on all of these. I've read reports on every single one of these. And you notice as the list grows, sometimes some come off. I can only watch so many damn stocks. But if I watch these bastards, it's like watching a football team. You don't have to like the Broncos to know that the Chargers are better. If you watch football, your team may not be the best, so you may really love this stock, but you know damn well utilities are taking off because you're following utilities, right? Here's the silver. Here's a biotech, right? Biotech. What is this? Technology company, right? They help you with data. What is that? Genomics. What is that? Oh, another data company. Oh, this is a small cap for schools. They do school stuff. Oh, here's another school play. They do books, right? They do books. So as we look at these, I know what all of these do. There's Bitcoin, baby, right? There's, what is this? Fastly, they help apps and games and stuff. We got to be in Facebook, bro. There's Ethereum. You know about Ethereum? What about Open over here? We got to get into that, man. Oh, look, Pepsi. These are trades. Stamps. Let's look at stamps. Why would I be trading stamps? So let's pull it up. So far, we got the RSI, the 20, and the 200. That is it. That's all we got on our little rules here. And I began to look, do stamps kind of follow this little pattern? Can I make sense of stamps? So when I come to stamps, the first thing I'm going to look at, just big picture. If you show me a chart, and I do this all the time on my lives, I'll go, I love it or I hate it. What am I looking for? Does it respect the previous levels? Meaning, does it go down and, does it go down and stop where it was before? And you say, but Charles, they broke it for one day. Yep, but it came back. We'll talk about that phenomena right there. And God bless, look, it was confirmed right here. That one hurts. I want you to see that, man. Look at this. If you don't think there's some fucking magic to this, I listened to a guy on Bloomberg talk about stock charts or fucking tarot cards, and I about lost my damn mind. You look exactly where that stopped. I would like to go on that show and grab that dude's fucking head and pull it toward the monitor and now explain that to me. And how it happens over and over and over and over, you idiot. Like, he literally was calling people that use charts stupid. I couldn't believe it. These are grown men on Bloomberg. And I was like, I will never watch this channel again. I mean, I was shocked. They were literally calling it tarot card reading. So, anyway, enough of that. As we go up, I want to show you something. We did this earlier. If you missed it, go get it. Where's another level that's been established? Right there. Do you see it? Do you see that? 3 points, right? 1, 2, 3. And then it broke it and held it. That is a level. It means when we come over here and this breaks out, guess where it's probably going to get hung up? About here. And then if it breaks through, where's it going to stop? Right there. In the meantime, what do we got to watch? The RSI. One extreme to another. Completed swing trade. That may happen before it gets here. Now, what I don't spend a lot of time on is you say, but how do you know this stock? Look, I'm looking for undervalued stocks. Let's go to tip ranks. This is one way I do it. There's a lot of these type of programs out there. You can find, I mean, you can just Google it. There's tons of them. The analysts think the average analyst has a $372 target, okay? So when we're looking at this at 180, it's like, my God. Shit, if they're half wrong, it's still higher, right? And so what I'm waiting for is the pattern to set up, right? Where's my breakout? Right there. Right there. Here's the part you're going to have to answer for yourself, okay? And I confuse people because it changes based on the stock. If this stock breaks, right, it's formed a little box here. So we got a stage 1, stage 2, but look, we're nowhere near on the RSI. So I assume it's going to keep going higher. I assume it, right? I assume. If this breaks down, where do we assume it's going? Where it was before. If I believe this thing is worth this much, you have to make the determination if you're going to use stops or not. I advocate the quality of the stock determines that shit, okay? Or your belief in it, your belief in your research, in the project, right? Meaning it is okay and it is still trading if you hold this. Sometimes people think, well, that's not trading. Yeah, it is. It is trading. What we're trading is the value of the company. And we're still using the pattern. Would I buy it? Let's say it breaks and goes straight down today. Would I buy that? No, we don't buy that. Why? No, same reason we didn't buy that one. Look, don't be dumb. That was a stage 4 decline. Where do we buy? Right there. Once the box is established, right? And then where do we add? Right there. Stage 2 breakout. Where's our target? 70 RSI. Did it hit it? No. Pull back. Would we sell this? Would we sell this? You could. If you do that as a strategy that you sell that quick, I probably wouldn't because I got in right here, right? In other words, whenever I teach the 20, this often, the moment it does that, people panic. If we haven't touched the 70, that is not a completed swing trade. If my thesis is still the same, I think this stock is worth up here, and we have not completed it, and I got in here and here, I'm going to give this the benefit of the fucking doubt. I don't want those $40. Meaning if I got out here, I'm going to make $40. I'm going to give it a minute. Now, I might, when we get down here, maybe it's a different conversation, but I'm giving that room. That's just me. I've been trading a long time. I'm pretty confident in the stocks I pick. This isn't Dogecoin. You get what I'm saying? So the quality of the stock is going to determine that. At the same time, If you remember, let me not do it there. Just a little trick for you. If you're manipulating stock charts over here, if you keep putting it in here, it'll keep these indicators. The moment you put it in the front box up here, it goes back to your standard settings. We got short that tech on the sell-off. And you're going to notice it's the same pattern. Stage 3 box. And it broke. And why did I short this one? But I would hold stamps. Stamps is a core trading. I'm using it as a core trading position. It's undervalued. Now I got to size it properly, right? But it's undervalued. And when it comes near value, I'm going to get out of it, okay? I'm going to get out of it. But as it's undervalued, I'm looking to build it up. But I want to buy it at the right times. And I understand price moves sideways, price goes up, price goes down, price moves sideways. And it may not go from point A to point B directly. I may have to go through 5 or 6 of these cycles. Did you just hear what I just said? This is the biggest misconception of the money flow trading system, that it's some fucking perfect thing where you swoop in, swoop out, and it can do that. But price, trying to get to where it's going, you might go through 20 of these with Uber to get to fair value. As it comes down and then goes, and then breaks back down and then rips. You get what I'm saying? And you think this is the biggest misconception, especially around young folks. They think we're just doing that. We're just hitting it and getting it. No, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to get rich. Nobody gets rich doing that. There ain't no rich shoe flippers. There ain't no rich shoe flippers. There's rich store owners. Uh-oh. Did you hear that? You know how many day traders on the Forbes 400? You know how many store owners, business owners, asset owners, production owners, content owners are on the Forbes 400? All of them. Right? So if for you take it down that tight, that's fine, but you better be on it. You better be on that mental game too, bro. You better be on it. You better be working on that mind, right? Because you're going to get a lot of paper cuts. A lot of paper cuts. Now, the reason I shorted this is an index fund, and we did this to offset as a hedge against the losses of a possible sell-off, and it was way worse than I thought. But we wrote it down, and when we stopped, it came right to the level, right? And remember, I talked about one reason I almost didn't do the short is it was all these levels. I hope you didn't forget what we talked about earlier. I wish I had you for some time and could train you, man. Look at this. See these pivot points? Each one of these are going to be levels that it stops at on the way down. And it did. Hit all of them, man. Hit all of them. And if you remember, we started covering here, and then we got out here, and then we got to the long side here. And then what? I've now covered this trade. Why? It's a completed swing trade on the TQ. So we wrote it down, and we wrote it up. Is that some genius of mine? No, that's called how you hedge. It's fucking rules. It's the rules of the religion, baby. It wasn't because I was hot last week. This is how I do it. That's a sell-off. That's stage, look. All our other indicators came into alignment. We ain't even talked about the other ones. I just fucked it up, didn't I? Now, as we look at this, how do we see this as a stage 1? Why don't we think, well, it's just going to keep going down? It could. But as a general rule, the stock market goes up over time, 70-something% of the time. Let's go to the NASDAQ on a weekly. What do you see? It goes up left to right, right? Let's back it up to a monthly chart. It goes up with little moments of terror, 3 or 4 months down, 3 or 4 months down, right? You see it? The big terrorizing sell-off here recently was this little red thing here. Man, I had people kind of, Gerald, there you go. There's your big sell-off. See, it's big to you because you ain't seen a big picture. You ain't been trading forever. You ain't been accumulating your wealth that long. So you see every little bump in the road is a nightmare. Oh my God. I know. I get them, dude. They stop logging in on the Discord group. They get all sad. They get all sad. They ain't playing this game forever, bro. They're playing this game when it's good. They're homeless traders. They're homeless, baby. They're homeless. When it's up, they feel good. When it's down, they feel bad. Why? They don't have abundance. Other areas of life get out of whack, begins to affect your view of this game. See, I mean, when you look at it from a monthly chart, shit, it looks like a game you can't lose. What if you had a way to catch these bottoms and catch these turns? Shit, you caught all the bottoms and all the turns. Oh no. Are you talking about perpetual winning? You can't say that. Yes, I can, baby. Yes, I can. Come on, man. This is our big sell-off right here. So when we see that right there, that's on a monthly, it looks real small. That's why one of the 10 pill, when you buy a book from me, anybody else ever, when you buy a book from me, I send you a thing and we take it back to a daily where it looks a little scary. So when we come back to the daily, right, and we begin what we said with the green line, does the green line help us? Price above it, right, price below it. We had a couple little sell-offs, but this held support, so I wouldn't even worry about that one because there's support right there. The further we get away from the 20, the more they become, and you can see it just walks it, man. Look, it just walks it. That was a solid break, though. I mean, that opened below it and went down. That was also one of the things that got me short, but that's another side note. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Damn. Man, we covered a lot. I wish we traded together. I wish you were looking at what I was looking at. You see what Kathy Woods is looking at, right? I mean, just the moving average looks like the pattern, doesn't it? See it? Is it clear to you? That's a level right there, right? See it? You might not count that one. By then, though, the RSI will be extreme, right? So we'll have a stage 2 breakout. It'll get up into here, kind of this box area up in here, and then it'll stop. It's almost like I could see the future. And that'll be a stage 3, like this was. And price will start to go sideways. So we want to take down the trade. See how we're planning the trade out? But what if it pulls back right here, Gerald? That's all right. We're still in the stage 1. We're back in the stage 1. Because we're playing the breakout, man. So let's look at Z. Z's kind of turn against us. So when we're looking at Z, we're seeing the pattern, right? Now, you see this level of support that I'm looking at? Man, that shit looks strong. I'm not selling this, even if we come under the 20. And I guarantee you, people try to be, what you want to do with Z? You know why? Because they can't see this, bro. They can't see this. Look, it even comes back over here, man. It's because they're homeless. Homeless traders begging for $1. So we're trading this in this support zone. My target up in here. Well, what is it worth? I mean, it's got to be worth something, right? Shit, it's got to be worth more than Dogecoin, you would think. Shit. 187. About right in there. So we got some upside, right? So you see how we're plotting this. So, you know, if you use this level, another option for stocks, my man I picked on, is to, or stops, is to use half stops. Place a stop on half of your position in a broken support zone and hold the rest if you think it's undervalued. And that's a pretty good strategy because a lot of times it'll break and then come right back, which is super bullish. But a lot of times you don't have the money because you already put it in something else. And then the stock you thought was going to go up does go up and you miss it. This is why I limit the number of stocks that I'm watching, right? I'm not constantly looking for new stocks. What I'm kind of trying to do is first I'm looking at the stocks I already own or already follows. So I'm not in band, but I follow band every day. Let's look at band. And we'll wrap up shortly, man. And you say, man, does band follow the system? Does band make boxes? Does band respect support and resistance? You damn right. Look at that. Stopped where it stopped before, right? That was the high, the RSI. Got this RSI low. It broke it. But you remember what I said? That if it breaks support and comes right back like the next day, that's super bullish. So on this pattern, we now have a super bullish pattern. Right there. I'm mad I didn't get in this one. I did some dumb shit instead. Now, do we have a zone right there, right? So we're going to get hung up right here, but hopefully we get through that and hit this 54 range. What's the price target on band? What do they think it's worth? 199. Damn. I was way up here. How do you find stocks, Jerome? I watch them. So this list is a list that I keep in a folder, right? So I'm going to show you something else. So if we come over to the folder, watch this. So these are dollar and less stocks I've been keeping an eye on. ARK funds, of course, $10 penny stocks, Bitcoin, right? So if we come over here to crypto plays, right? China plays. I'm gonna give you one for free, and when you make money on it, you're gonna send me some beer, okay? That's the deal. No, send me some whiskey, man. Unless you're broke, send me some beer. Let's see. I'm about to give you one. Let's see. We're gonna end with this. We didn't even get through all the indicators, man. Oh, did I fuck it up already? We're gonna look at China, huh? China's been in the news. Chinese index is FXI. You're going to notice something about this chart. What do you see when you first look at it? When you first look at it, we're looking at it from the money flow point of view, right? So take this back. Now, if you hit my bio link, it'll take you to this. I keep a log of my trades. They're delayed. You know, you got to be trading with us to get them in real time, but they're delayed. Let's see. I would encourage you to keep a log, but none of you do. It'd be way too damn time consuming. You got to watch the Kardashians and shit and go on vacation. So as we look at this in lieu of our trade, if we're looking, and this is the 20-day moving average, price is below it, price is above it, right? And let's suppose you had time, you weren't so busy. A lot of people are too busy being busy to get rich. They're just busy doing nothing. Let's see. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, does it tend to respect the RSI? That's the first thing I look at. Yeah, hit it, went down. Hit it, went down, right? Okay, that's cool. What about the 20? Like when it breaks under the 20, does it kind of keep going under the 20 for a minute? Right? And what about when it breaks above it? Yeah. So that, as a general rule, we can get some traction. That's all I'm looking for. I need to see I can get some traction, right? So if you look at some stocks, you're going to see they're all fucked up, man. Like look at AT&T. What is this? This ain't no traction. You're going to go from 30 to 29, back to 30 to 28, back to 30. Like that's no traction, man, right? You see the difference here. This is a cardiac machine, right? It's what we call a cardiac chart. Beep, 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 right? That's what that is. That's bullshit. That is not a trade. Stop sending me these charts. People send me, what do you think of this stock, Gerald? I think it looks like shit. Like, why'd you even send it to me? You obviously hadn't read my book. Like, fuck. We need movement, man. You need movement. You need movement. Okay? You need movement. So, that's movement, right? Can we see the pattern emerge? Sideways, up. Ooh, pull back. Held that 20, though. Back up. So there's our top, down, and now we're going sideways. Where did we stop, man? Shit, we stopped right where we stopped before. That sounds like the money flow. Right on time. Look. Bam. And if we take it a little bit lower, it was also a resistance over here. But this is choppy. Why? Because it opens up at different times in our market. So this is the FXI's Chinese index. And I don't even trade Chinese stocks. But I see it happening. So if you're trading BABA and these other Chinese stocks, you better be watching the FXI. And if you haven't been, you need to go bitch slap yourself. I mean, seriously. This is the index that trades on those stocks. You should not be trading Chinese stocks and you don't watch the FXI. If you do, you are an immature trader. Seriously. We're having a come to Jesus moment right now. You need to get off your fucking ass and you need to follow the indexes that affect the stocks you're on. Seriously. That's like from a professional trader to you. You need to do that shit. And if you don't comprehend what I'm saying, you need to stop what the fuck you're doing. You need to find the indexes that trade around the stocks you're in. And then that'll alleviate 99% of your questions. Can you be like, well, is this stock going down? Because they're all going down. Right? So if we're trading electric vehicles and the EV index is going down, where do you think your stock's going? Down. That's called the wind. I mean, I talk about like right here. Where are we at? The wind. The SPY is the wind. And it's wind for what? The S&P 500. So if this is going up, where do you look? There's the breakout. I mean, I don't even need to post a new chart. Why? Because it was breaking out. What did I say? Stage 2 breakout underway. I just made that assumption on what? 3/9 of 21. So let's put that in. I haven't even updated it. Why? I don't need to. Told you what was going to happen. I didn't know, but I can see what's happening on the damn chart. 3/9. Where's that? Right there. Right there. I ain't updated this chart since. Why? I don't need to. Told you. Stage 2. It's a stage 2. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. How high is that going to go? Till the RSI is extreme. So I've been taking it down. Been taking down some of these S&P 500 stocks. Why? Sideways up, sideways, right? We're either coming down. So now what's going to happen? It ain't going to stay green, dude. Go back and look. Take this chart back. It doesn't stay green. It's either going to stop and go in time right here, like we're going to start to go sideways, or it's coming down. It can only do one of the two. It is not going to keep going up with this much green. I promise you. It just isn't. That's what that indicator's telling you. So if you're sitting on those S&P stocks, you just need to be prepared in your mind. They're going to come down. So now let's look at the Dow stocks. What do we see? Oh, shit. Same thing. Wait, Joe, are you saying if we bought when the price broke out above the green line, that it might move higher? Yeah. Remember, that was the system I gave you? Buy when it breaks above the green line. So, shit, you'd have added to your trade right here. That's what that means. You bought some, you added some. Right? And then it goes up. What is that telling you? You're done. You need to get out. If you're short-term trading, if you're long-term trading, what does that tell you? Be prepared. It's either going to go sideways or come down. Either way, it's not going up. It's going to stop. So what does that mean for Dow stocks? Like Home Depot. What do we think is going to happen to Home Depot? It's a Dow stock. What do you think, Joe? Maybe it'll just keep going forever. No, it's going to stop. And it's going to go sideways. And it's going to either, we're going to correct in time or we're going to correct in pullback. And if this pulled back, where would I expect it to come to? Where it was before. Shit, right there. You might count that one. It's probably more likely it's going to pull back into this 20. Assuming everything's fine, right? We're going to pull back into this 20. Now, so if I own it as a trade, what do? I'd be downsizing it. If I was in options, I'd be out. I'd be getting out. You want to buy the breakout, sell the RSI. Did I just tell you how to do options? Yeah. Buy the breakout, take some off at the previous high, take some off at a 70 RSI. People ask me all the time, do you train options? Yeah, dummy. If you learn price movement, that's called options. I mean, trading options is trading price movement, right? You can't make money if the price doesn't move, right? I mean, right? I mean, is that how it works? You make money in options when the price moves, right? So do you think learning price movement would help you with options? Now, what they're often referring to is the gamma and the beta, and are you going to give me the strike price, and which month should I buy it? And like, dude, you can read all that. Come on, man. You don't need to be fucking spoon-fed. Go get a book on options, any random book on Amazon on options, and it'll give you the mechanics of how to enter an option, exit an option. You're going to buy, you're going to sell to close to sell, right? You can put a limit. You could buy weekly. You could buy fucking leaps. Like that's not complicated. That's not what you need to know. You can teach yourself that shit. What you need to know is when to buy and sell as far as on the charts and what stocks to pick up. So you think buying a call option on Home Depot right now would be a good idea? No. What about on Coca-Cola? When would have been a good time? Remember on my story? Where were we buying on my Instagram story? Right? Where was I telling you? Right here. Why? It put a box in at 200. Right? It was undervalued. It was trading undervalued. Started buying it. Bought some calls. This is where I like to buy them at support. Once the box is clear in an undervalued asset where I can set a target. Right? So isn't that what we did in H&R Block? Now, if you start buying options and you don't trade shares, I promise you, you will lose all your money. And you deserve to be honest. You better learn this share price movement, man. Because if you learn what I'm talking about, buying the lows, buying these ones, and catching the stage 2 breakouts. Now, why did we initiate this at all? This is part of options trading, dude. You're buying an option on a stock you think is going to go up or down. So doesn't it make sense to learn the up or down part first? Like learning how a stock moves. Wouldn't that make sense if you want to trade options? Since that's price movement, right? And then what if we could set targets, right? So this was our target, if you remember, on H&R Block. So why was I buying H&R Block? Well, it sold off and came to the 20 and stopped. It looks small on this. The movement was really bigger than that, right? Why? Let me take this down. It was undervalued. So when I went to tip ranks, it was undervalued, about 20, 30%. Well, this is a cheap stock. So I bought shares and I bought call options. Where do we get rid of the call options? At the first target. Daryl, do you take options? Yeah. It's called price movement, dummy. Price movement. That's options, okay? The mechanics of how to buy and sell them, you can just read. It's like getting your driver's license or anything else. It's just rules. So boom, you're buying them. So you want to buy it here and sell it here. Like, duh, right? Like, I mean, I realize that's obvious if you've been trading for a minute. But I'm telling you, you'll get people buying up in here, man. And they missed it. The move was way back here, dude. Right? The move was way back here, you know? And so if you can be patient and catch those after those big downturns, so as you're studying the pattern, this pattern, I want to buy my calls on stage 1 and undervalued stocks that are likely to go up. Maybe there's earnings coming up, there's news, whatever, or it's sold off, it's going sideways, and there's a bull market in the S&P, the bull market. Would you want to buy call options if the S&P rolls over? So if you guys are out there buying calls right now, you're out of your fucking minds. You understand that, right? I don't care, like, dude, seriously. I'll tell whoever told you to buy them, they're out of their fucking minds. Look at the Dow. It's on 75 RSI, bro. Like, it's overbought. Let's back this up. Right? It's overbought, man. Unless you're buying them in a sector you think's fixing to rotate, you're buying them at the top of the market. Now, maybe you're buying them so that you don't put a bunch of money out in shares. You can make a case for that. But if you're trading options and you got RSIs on the Dow, where's technology right now? almost 70 RSI. You better get out of them. Or downsize them. Shit, I don't know. You see how price movement helps me determine that? You see how this pattern could help me trade options? Right? Back to the trade I'm giving you. This is the Chinese sector. What do we see? I see the pattern, man. So now we're looking at the moving averages on the FX side. So let me put that in here. A couple little things I'm going to just speed through that I do. So I look for the pattern. Can I see the overall pattern? Yes, I see it. Sideways up, sideways down, sideways, right? We see it. It's organic. It's growing every day. It's alive. Do we have an extreme RSI pivot point? Yeah, that's going to be our extreme RSI pivot point. Does that fall at a previous support? Boom, right at it. Fucking just like we would expect, right? So now what is my expectation? If this starts to go sideways, I'm in a stage one. I'm right here. I'm right here. That's where I could start to nibble, right? And on the break, that's it. That's my last chance. It's starting to happen. It started to break here, pulled back, held the level. You know, this is your chance. Now, one of the things that I do look for in this, this one was a buyable level. But I do want to point out something to you. I want you to get the difference in this risk level. And I talk about this all the time in Nuance, and I don't do a good job teaching it. Do you see these moving averages? You see how far apart they are? They're not going to do anything until they come together, right? And you're going to start to see other shit come together. So, you know, would this be a buyable level? No, I wouldn't have bought that. This is not coming together. We need sideways action that brings these moving average together. And now you're starting to see it right there. And you might have got me in that. That was buyable because everything lines up exactly what we're seeing right now. But notice it's still not on the other side of the green line. So when you're buying these stage ones and it's not on the other side of the green line, what you're trying to do is to bottom pick. You're trying to catch the stage one. You need to be real careful about that. You need to go light. You need to see some sideways action. You need to see price and the moving averages, the triggers. Look at this. These are the 5-day and the 10-day. So that's 1 month, that's 2 weeks, and that's 1 week of trading. 1 week of trading price isn't even above the 10-day, man. Look at this. But look what happens as it starts to come together, right? Same thing that happened over here. And then it takes a minute. So you might be looking at China as a possible play. Now, how could you play this with less money? Be careful. There's a triple leverage fund called the Yin. YINN. It's $19. But if we get back to the previous high, that's $30. Here's the cautionary tale. America's overbought right now. The Dow's overbought. NASDAQ's overbought. This is kind of like, this is not really emerging markets, but these things don't typically go up when America goes down. But if America holds in place, if the market doesn't sell off and we do a correction in time, you know you can do a correction in time. Did you know that? You can correct in time, which means your stage 3 becomes a stage 1. It doesn't have to go down, guys. It can just go sideways. And as it goes sideways, guess what happens? The RSI ticks down and down and down and down. And when that RSI comes to a 50, you're going to see price rocket back up. That just went over everybody's head. If you got intimate with this, man, I wish I could teach you guys to trade, man. I wish I could help you. One day we'll get it. Look at when this RSI broke that. What you're going to see in the SPY correct is it's going to pull into that 50 and it's going to start to go sideways. If it corrects in time. If it stays a stage 3. So let's pull up the SPY so you can see it. And that would be a good case for the Chinese market to rip higher because all these hedge funds and money chasers and fucking greedy bastards out there, they're going to go into China. And then news stories will start and they'll be like, oh, you should buy blah, blah. All these other shitty companies that are in China. This could correct sideways. As it does, you're going to see this moving average. You're going to see it come down to about right here. Well, that'll take weeks, man. Look, that'll take weeks to happen. Look, weeks. And now went a little low there. It'll probably pull back to about the 20 if this is going to keep going. And as this corrects and doesn't fall out of bed, if it falls out of bed, it's going to be hard for China to move. But if this doesn't fall out of bed, guess what? Now we can play catch up with all these little stocks we're in, like Fastly. Why? Because these things will be, they're on sale, man. They haven't moved yet. So as the NASDAQ holds still, look at Fastly. Look where it stopped. All the way back to the beginning of the class. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you see the size of her stage one? So don't worry. Let's see. That's our zone, man. I'm long Fastly, by the way. Shit. If I had your money, I might buy some options here. I think we can get a run out of these laggards if the market holds in place, and that's what we're playing on. We don't know it's going to go down. I know it's in a stage 3, which is this. So it's going to stay in a stage 3, which means we could get some movement out of these ones that have been laggards. Laggards, right? Tesla. See where Tesla goes now that Bitcoin got a bitch slapping. Tesla makes most of their money now out of Bitcoin. Apparently, Louise doesn't think it's enough. I know Gerald's in it, but is anybody else in it? Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe I need confirmation on his stuff. I need one more person to tell me I'm not stupid. Let's see. I know you bought it, Gerald, but did anybody else buy it? I need that double confirmation. Because I can't see the fucking chart in front of me. I don't have the strategy memorized. I don't know. So this is Tesla. Do you see the money flow pattern? Can you see it? Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Yeah, we would be buying the index, not actual companies. That's the difference. Be playing an index trade as a swing trade, in and out, the same way you trade Tesla's a stock. So if you're long Tesla, you can take some off on these extremes. You can hold a core position and start putting it back on, and you trade with Tesla all the time. Now, what I just told you is like exactly how Kathy Woods trades, and it's going to go way over most people's heads because they're too fucking short term. Homeless traders begging for $1. Like those dudes you see out on the street with a sign says, "Can I get $1? Can I just get $1?" And then they get $1 and they're still broke. They just got $1. That's most traders. I'm trying to teach them how to build wealth and trade forever. Look at these zones, man. Gerald, are you saying if price breaks out above the 20, then I could then ride it up and take some off when the R sign gets extreme, and then if it breaks down again, I could add some and take it off when it gets extreme? That's exactly what I'm telling you. And then when it starts to go down, I could down some. Yeah, you could buy puts. Shit. Oh, you guys want to be option masters? Buy puts. Buy puts on your position. And then ride that shit down. Where you think it's going to stop? Shit, where it stopped before. We already talked about that. We opened with that. Now, if you're in the Money Flow Trading Society, That's why I tell you I'm the number 2 trader in the world. Did I or did I not? And this is documented. I sent a text right here. I think I sent it about 11 a.m. And I said, you should buy some of everything in your portfolio. Charts aside, let's look at the NASDAQ. All that shit aside, all the rules. This is the audible. And why? Price had gone too far on all of these charts. Now, the cues themselves didn't look like it. But if you went and looked at, let's look at like Peloton. If you remember that day, was right here. That day, around 11 o'clock, I sent that message out. You say, why? Look, they were all breaking that support at extreme levels. All these stocks, Tesla, Peloton, Band, Stamp, like the list goes on and 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 on of stocks. And I don't call that audible often. I don't just do it on a particular stock. If it was just one stock going down, I'm not calling an audible. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. What I'm reading there is the entire market, the big fucking picture, okay? I'm not doing this on a single stock. If it does that on a single stock, I'm not doing that. I'm going to wait for it to set up. But when I see the entire stock market, all stocks across the board, pegging 28 RSI, breaking previous, like it, no, this is ridiculous. When the SPY is going up, which is the wind, right? We talk about the SPY is the wind, and the Dow is up. That's complete overreaction. And those are ones where like a flash crash, like you step in. You just buy some, man. You know, if I could, don't buy a lot, but buy some. Maybe buy some call options. That would have been smart. And there's just chart after chart after chart after chart. I think it was on March 8th or I think it was 7th or 8th. If you catch yourself calling that a lot, you misunderstand it. You don't know what it is. You don't understand the money flow. Okay, these are rare opportunities that I say, hey, why? Because I can see the big picture. I've been trading a long time. I'm in the cycle with all of these stocks, and this was just over ridiculousness. You know, now doesn't mean it can't pop, go back up, and then do another leg down. Of course it can, but that day was ridiculous, redonky-donk. And on ARK, a buddy of mine, he'd been wanting to buy ARK, and I called him. I said, man, you should buy all the ARK you can buy today. Like if that was his plan, because he wasn't in it. There's your day, bro, right there. 11 o'clock, I sent that tweet, said you better start buying, or text message. What confirmed that day? It held. There ain't nothing more bullish than that. This day held in a box, and there's your breakout. Where's your target? Up here. So, you know, we're seeing the same thing in China. China's tied to a lot of these spec plays, right? We got support, man, over here. God damn. I mean, how much shit do we got lining up here, dude? On these ARK funds. What is the top 10 stocks in ARK? Shopify, Roku, right? Tesla. You notice they all have the same chart, right? ARK could be your index fund for it. Where's Roku? Roku's one of my core trading stocks. I think we covered enough today. I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to do shares before doing options. I actually don't think you'll be successful. I know you can find someone that is. Don't judge yourself on outliers, man. There's a book out there called Outlier. Go read that book. And people will, like, say a rapper. Like, you know, you guys know I love rap music. And I follow some of these guys on YouTube and stuff. And a lot of them pitch themselves as money men. Man, get the fuck out of here. It's like a lot of these YouTubers pitch themselves as money men. What they leave out is they made their money on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? Like, Okay. Well, unless you have a popular YouTube channel, I don't know how you're going to do what that guy did. You, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you gave me a bunch of fucking money, I can make money too. It's easy. Making money is easy. Like, once you learn it, like, if you're using other people's money or have a bunch of money, man, trading stocks is easy, bro. Like, you have a bunch of money, like, you're going to make money all the time. It's easy. Once you add some rules and some strategy and, like, stage 3, stage 1, there's a breakout and you set your target and you got a bunch of money, shit's easy, man. It's getting the money to do the game, right? And a lot of them give it, like their money. I mean, no, man, you fell into something, you had a great success, congratulations. But that's not how the normal person's going to go about it, It's not how normal, you're probably going to be driving for Uber or doing this and that, and you're going to want to come in and play this game. Make sure that the people you're looking up to aren't playing it at a level that you can't play. That was always my complaint with Grant Cardone, man. I love Grant. You can't play Grant's game, dude. Are you fucking delusional? You're making $30 million a year as a success coach. You got all kinds of courses and books for sale. You got 25-man phone staff. No, how the fuck are you going to do what he's doing? You should buy apartment buildings. Really? Because I drive for Uber. I don't think that's going to happen. And he says, well, you shouldn't buy single family homes. Really? Because that's all I can afford. I mean, that is terrible advice, man. And a lot of the shit I see these guys putting out is outlier shit. It's not real. That's not how it really goes down. That's how it goes down for him. Maybe Tiger Woods, right? If you got a Buick commercial and play pro golf, yeah, buy a damn mall. I mean, it ain't complicated when you make a lot of money and they make it look easy. And then you'll see a lot of these guys on YouTube and things like that. I mean, goddamn. But if you own a small restaurant, like my friend that owns a Mexican restaurant, is that what he's going to do? He's going to buy an apartment building by himself in his spare time without any real estate experience? So you can rap. That makes you smart with money? Like, get the fuck out of here. What makes you smart with money is being able to make lots of money, right? With money. But be careful of people who get a lot of money from doing one simple thing, meaning they're beautiful. So they got a hot body and they get a lot of money. Okay. But it's easy to make money with a lot of money. What's harder is making money with little money, right? Grinding that out, that process of doing that. And a lot of these guys, you'll see, oh man, you shouldn't work so fucking hard. You should blah, blah. Really? Because where am I going to get the money if I'm not working hard? I don't understand where it comes from. And now if you have some magic well to money, yeah, goddamn, I would take a break too. Right? So if you got a business that's throwing you off 30, 40 grand passive a month, yeah, it's easy. Take your money, put it in dividend stocks, collect your dividends. Hello. But in lieu of that, you might need to start buying trailers or flipping land or stocks. You get my point, man. You get my point on that. Be careful listening to outliers. A lot of you hear people teaching options. All right, well, they've been trading for a minute. Maybe they ain't got your best interest at heart. Maybe they want to sell you some shit. Because I would straight up tell you, no, don't do that. That's fucking dumb. Why? Because I'm just being real. I'm just experienced, blue collar. Had a guy yesterday, why you spend so much time working on houses? Why don't you outsource that? Well, first off, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't own any houses. So I really don't give a shit what your opinion is. Right? And because I live in the real fucking world where when you own a business, you got to be accountable to it. Right? And, I need contractors. Right? I need people. I got to do something with my time. I mean, oh, by the way, I like doing it, dummy. How about that? I like working. I know that's crazy, but I actually enjoy what I do. That's the definition of success. When you get up every day excited to do what you do, you're successful. I don't get up every day excited to talk to other people to tell them what to do. I like to tell me what to do. I like doing what I do. That makes me successful. And so we've taught it. It's been taught in such a way it's almost like there's right ways and there's wrong ways and there's rules. And I get all the time. You need to go on vacation. You need to shut the fuck up. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Like, I like what I'm doing. You know what I do on vacation? I write books. That's what I do. I go, what do you mean? I work. I can't help it. It's what comes out of me. What am I going to do? Deny my existence to please some bullshit social standard? People do, man. You'll live your whole life like that. These markets will give you what you want. If you want to do, we opened with Coinbase on a 1 minute chart. Shit, you want to trade the money flow on a 1 minute chart? You can trade it. It's right there. There's the money flow. You see the pattern. That's a stage 2 breakout right there. Right? It'll give you, price came right to where, look, this is the money flow, man. This is just human emotion. People take price too high and then people take it too low. And then price breaks out. And then where's it run to? It runs to where it was and then it stops. Right? That pattern. The market will give you whatever you want, man. Market will give you whatever you want. So if you're looking to gamble, it'll let you gamble. If you're looking to get rich quick, it'll feed that. It'll feed it. It'll feed it. If you're looking to build wealth, it'll do that too, right? Dividend, like whatever it is, whatever you're at in time of your life, whatever you need, a market will give you. Oh, by the way, so will the universe. It'll give you what you want. You know that, right? We just got to have a bigger ask and be patient. If you go to Instagram, click my bio link. Let's do that. I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and then I'll leave you alone on this glorious Sunday day. I'm going to go work, man. You guys should take a break. Why are we looking at my cousin? Let's see. All right. If we come over here and click that. Usually the top one is me rotating shit. So that's the podcast. If you don't have my book, you don't have to die broke. I get this all the time. People say they read this book and then they go, what stock should I buy? Hey, chapter 10. Chapter 10 is Dogs of the Dow. So you come over here in stock charts or whatever you're using. And if you look, I actually do the shit that I'm talking about. Dogs of the Dow. And I have them all charted in here. And you're like, Gerald, if you bought when a green line, when price broke above it, and you could send, like I just randomly grab one. Amgen. Does it look like it does the money flow? Let's see. This is just a randomly grabbed stock. Does it do it? Yeah. Holy sheep shit. So look, RSI went extreme. We take some down, right? So what if to accumulate wealth, I just bought stage ones? Huh? What if I did that? Then I'd always be doing good when it's running, right? So all the stuff that I talk about, like I literally do this every day. This is what I do every day. Like, so when I talk about like how to get in real estate, get your credit right, get your 2 years tax return, start looking for a property, go walk like I'm doing that. That's exactly what I do. Like there's no, it's not me going, you should buy a spaceship. And like, like that's what these outliers are telling you. You should buy a spaceship. Just go to Mars. That's not how it works. So following Cardone and taking his advice on building wealth in real estate is like taking the advice from Elon Musk on space travel. It ain't going to do much for you. If you don't own Tesla, you're not going into space, right? So to end with our take a look at FX, or look at the YINN. And, where we are. If you come over here and click it, it'll take you to the newsletter. So you can subscribe to it, man. I send this email out. Oh, heads up, I got about 7,000 people on that email. So when I send them a stock, I don't know, man. I'm hoping one day I'm going to have 100,000. And when I send them a stock, it just goes up. Or you can get the book. Here's the boot camp. We go through it. So a couple of things. There's a cryptocurrency wallet I use. All this shit will help you, man. It may not be your style, but you can get something out of it. Hope that helps. You guys be good.